As much as I'm scared to take risks, at that moment, everything was fully aligned where I could be the riskiest that I've ever been. And I quit my job and I started Asian Found It last summer.
Dun, 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 dun. Oh, wait, what?
Dun, 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 dun.
I was trying to go for the Star Wars, and then I started singing the marriage song. You know where that's from?
I do. Yeah, you do. Of course I do. How would I not know? At this point, if I didn't know where it was from, yeah, you would be. I would be offended on behalf of you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Hooked on Classics. 1, 2, 3. Check it out.
Only Hooked on Classics. Yeah.
Which also this is so random. Just because we were singing, it reminded me of whistling, and I kind of feel bad. I hope my coworker didn't take offense to it, but she was like, "I'm really good at whistling," and I was like, "If there's anything I'm good at whistling."
Are you good at whistling?
Hannah!
Can you do it?
Okay.
That was your warm-up? That was your warm-up?
Give me a song. You know when people are like, "What are you good at?" I really can't think of anything else other than talking and whistling.
The song is levitating. I want you.
Okay, yeah.
I feel like that was like more than enough.
Yeah, that was like way too long.
Yeah,
I'm so sorry. But anyway, you can cut that out in like whatever part you think shows the song levitating.
Okay, ready?
But,
you want to hear me?
I don't think your mouth is in the right form.
I don't know how to whistle. Julie, I did not know this about you.
Oh, I think it's because I try not to whistle too often, though. I try to not make it habitual because, number one, when you're in a social setting, it's not like, you know what I mean? Like smacking gum and whistling is not so favored, number one. But number two, I don't want to whistle and get wrinkles right here like this.
Oh,
I feel like it's the same form as like if someone were to be a cigarette smoker. Like I would hate to get those wrinkly lines like right here. But there's a name for that.
I didn't know. I've never. I didn't think about that ever in my life.
So yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, speaking of like procedures, I'm getting LASIK. Yeah.
Do you have a date?
Yeah. On the 12th.
Can you drive? Do you have a ride?
No, I don't.
Should I use sick time?
Oh, do you want? Do you want to?
When are you getting it?
I was just gonna Uber.
Oh yeah, I forgot there's Uber.
I'm getting it on the 12th.
That is so soon.
Yeah, like I'm gonna get it by the time this episode drops.
Also, recovery is very soon.
It's literally like 4 or 5 hours. Like the next day, I'm going to go get a chemical peel. Like I'm gonna go get a chemical peel. I just wasn't expecting. Yeah, I'm gonna go get a chemical peel because my skin has been freaking out.
Oh, mine too. Oh my gosh, mine too.
Yeah,
mine too. Which I've been feeling really stressed, and then I think I truly physical reactions to stress, and so I've been breaking out. But I think stressing out about the breakout has been making me break out even more.
Oh, for sure. It's just like a constant cycle.
I'm just trying to identify like why I'm breaking out though.
Right. No, I mean, that's why I went to go get a full blood panel because and like hormone panel because I was like, what's going on? Everything's normal.
Are you low on vitamin D?
Probably.
Yeah. Well, if you should look at that and relook at it. Look at the results. And if they didn't post it on your chart, ask them to post it on your chart.
I've been hanging out with too many boys. You didn't get my joke just now.
Oh.
I've been hanging out with like literally all guys. Are you low on vitamin D?
Oh.
And I looked at you and I went, oh, yeah.
Sorry, I took it very seriously because in the Asian American community, it is very common to be low on vitamin.
Probably both.
Yes, probably both. And so, but when I asked, like, what happens if you're low on vitamin D, which I've consistently been low on vitamin D, it actually impacts your immune system a lot.
And it impacts everything, like your sleep.
Yeah, vitamin D.
Yeah.
Which also, you guys, I have had sleep anxiety, but it's gotten a lot better.
I wonder which vitamin D would help.
Stop being so nasty.
Dude, I literally hang out with all
Too
guys.
Many boys.
No, and they're like...
Do you really want to know the answer?
No, they're...
They're genuinely gross, and like that's why I keep saying my humor is broken.
Yeah,
like I can't. Like it's genuine. Like my friend the other day in a work meeting said a very inappropriate term, and I literally started crying because I was laughing so hard. They were like, "Hannah, are you okay?" They're like, "It was not funny," and I was like,
"Oh my god." Okay, yeah, we need to.
Yeah.
Okay, you need to hang out with me more.
Yeah, I know. I need some girl time.
But my humor is not really like mine's like dad joke humor.
It is. Yeah. It is. Whereas
but
like
those can be funny.
No, yeah, it can definitely be funny. Yeah. It's just like I feel like I'm gonna infect you more than you infect me.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like it's not a
contaminating
symbiotic relationship. Yeah. It's more like a parasite.
Yeah. yeah. I like that reference. Yeah, parasite. But anyways, what happened? I think this is just a continuation. I mean, we've been gone for a bit, and you know, we didn't want last week's episode to be an episode of like full of check-ins. So actually, if I could just add on to, and this is kind of personal, but like I don't mind sharing it.
Okay.
Just going off the topic of like breaking out, I think a contender to why I might be breaking out is because I went through an IUD experience.
IUD experience.
And I want to say IUD experience because I feel like
it's like on Airbnb experience.
Yeah. IUD. Everything's about the experience these days.
You're right.
If you're part of this app, what is the experience of being on this app?
Yeah.
We're in this Web3 space.
UX.
Exactly. And I just feel like there have been a lot of scary reviews of IUDs.
Yeah.
And on my end, I just want to share, I think it's just stimulating a cramp. That's really just what it feels like.
That makes sense.
And maybe that's why it's just unwanted though, right? Nobody like craves a cramp.
Yeah, it's just uncomfortable.
But it just feels like a manual. You're creating a cramp. And I know for a fact mine was a lot longer because I think it's supposed to be over in like 2-3 minutes where they like put in the dilator and then they like insert the IUD, which also I put in like one of the smaller ones. But mine took 7 minutes. And how do I know? Because I recorded the entire
experience.
Yeah, the experience.
That's very interesting.
Yeah.
That's very interesting to
me.
And
it was like it was taking so long that even the doctor was like, maybe you want to come in another time. But I was like, there's no way I'm putting myself through this twice.
Yeah.
So I just told my body, let's relax. And then it happened.
Worked?
And then it happened.
Okay, great.
And then on that same day, I got rear-ended for the very first time.
Oh, right. Okay, yeah,
yes.
You briefly mentioned it in the last check-in.
Yeah. I briefly mentioned it, but that was that same day. And it's just, I felt like an adult rear-ended.
Wait, that's like a very adult experience.
I freaked out. Yeah.
No, for me too. I feel like, right, it's so scary when you get rear-ended for the first time and it's like, I don't know what to do.
But can I be honest? So my first thought was I need to call my dad. And then he told me to call my insurance. And then honestly, after the drive, one of the first 5 thoughts I had was, I can't believe I didn't know how to figure that situation out better after how many times I've been in the car with like you and shit.
You know, I get into my accident about yearly.
Yeah.
And you know what it is also? As soon as I get my car fixed is when another one happens.
Yeah.
Like genuinely.
I know.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah, Julie has been in the car with me. Homegirl got heated one time and I was very scared because it was on the side of the freeway. You and my other friend Michelle were just like,
I think, and the reason I think I got so heated that time was because
I was being too nice.
Well, also I was in class. I was sitting in the back seat.
Oh,
I was in class.
Right, I remember that.
Yeah, I was in class, had my AirPods in, and I'm trying to look at my small screen, and like my professor is sharing like a slide, and I was getting pretty car sick. And then I knew you just got your car back.
Yeah,
it was literally that day. And I was like, honestly, my first thought was, no fucking way.
Yeah,
and we were in the lane, and these little kids.
No, yeah, she was like 17.
Just got their car.
Yeah.
And daddy's money because she was driving like a nice
Mercedes
car.
Yeah.
And so I got heated when their friend tried to argue that we like merged into a lane, and they were like, where did you guys pop up from?
I'm like, you're the one merging.
Yeah.
You have to look.
And I feel like I felt like I was a good assertive, not so in your face, where I think Michelle was a little in your face.
You guys were both, I mean, like, you know how conflict avoidant I am. Yeah. And so that was the first time that I was like, get in the car.
Yeah.
I was literally, get in the car right now.
I think because I would have hated because I started taking a video, but it was too late because we already moved. And I think because of that specific situation is why when I got rear-ended, I got out of the car and I took videos and photos
immediately.
Because if your situation got bigger, how would you prove who was wrong? And I would have been so like upset if you had to owe her anything.
Oh yeah. I mean, like, thankfully, like, it was fine, but that's very funny because I mean, that was what, one of 2 times that you've been in the car with me? Have you been in the car more? Don't tell me it was more. Was it more?
Well, it was in the... Well, okay, so that time when we were all celebrating...
Parked?
Yeah, when you were parked coming out of the garage and we scraped the car.
Oh, that's 2. And then
that was
3 was when we were parked.
Literally parked in this... Like, I was like, no way, because they were coming in so hot.
Right, and then they stopped. And they stopped.
And they thought they could do it.
They thought they could turn and make it. And then
they... Yeah. But it was interesting because it wasn't a scratch. It was like a little like indent in your car because it was the rubber part of the Jeep.
Right.
And I was just like...
Okay. So, first rear ending and IUD. Oh, you know, I also like went to my doctor, right? I told you I just like got my hormone panel and whatnot.
Yeah.
And she was like... I feel like you're always coming to me to talk about your acne. And so like maybe we need to like explore like birth control or something. And like I was like, damn, I think it's the first time in my life that I've actually considered it because I don't know where along the way, but like I've become terrified of birth control.
Yeah.
I think like I've heard from a good amount of people that they're like, oh no, I like really like it. Like it doesn't affect my mood that much. And then I've heard the complete opposite side of the spectrum where they're like, I was like a monster.
When I was on it, I think because our friends, obviously, our friends had shared their opinions, I was just so aware of it. I was in denial and I was like, there's no way it's affecting me in that way. Like, I cannot, like, don't let it affect me. And when I was on it, and I wasn't on it for so long either. Right. It wasn't too long, but I think coming off of it and feeling the difference, I'm kind of shook.
Wow.
Yeah.
Like, maybe I just, like, want to go through it just to, like, see what's up.
Maybe.
Yeah.
But... it was funny because even my like just acne journey, I mean, I broke out a lot when I went into college, and I think it was just the difference in the water element and the temperature, and actually seeing the photos because I would take photos of when I would get laser, or like, so seeing some of those photos back in like pre birth control, it's funny because I always kind of had like 1 or 2 pimples and like a little texture. And so I think, birth control in terms of like clearing my face, I think it really did.
Oh. Yeah, no, I think
it really did. No,
I mean, Julie, you're still like glowing now, but like I can tell that there's a difference.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But so I think for me, like the reason I went on it too was like that was a part of the reason.
Right.
So I was like prescribed the one that like helps with the acne. So if that is your goal,
maybe.
Yeah. Maybe it's worth.
Yeah, we'll see. Yeah. My skin was really, really clear actually in New York. When I was in New York, like literally I was like, something about the humidity,
I think California weather
it's like too dry.
It's weird.
Yeah, no, it's been crazy. But actually, no, speaking about New York, dude, okay, I've only liked New York 2 out of maybe like the 7 or 8 times that I've gone. First time was with you, Julie, right before pandemic. It was literally February of 2020 because we rallied 4 a.m. nights, got up in the morning, did all of our museum stuff, like coffee, eating, hung out with Andrew.
Yeah, pizza, show.
And then this most recent time, I was there for 10 days and I was really nervous because like I usually get pretty homesick. Like I really want to go home. Guys, I had so much fun in New York. Like, I was seeing like my favorite, like, so there's this one DJ, his name is Dick by Air. So fun. It is like
more fun than Minute.
Yeah, unfortunately for Minute. But like it was like hyper pop, like literally like this underground place in Brooklyn.
Sorry, what's hyper pop?
Hyper pop?
Like pop but like amplified?
Hyper pop is like really fast pop, and it's like, I think it derives from Japan. Actually.
Okay, so it's not like playing Dula Peep, but like on higher BPM. Okay,
it's more like Pink Pantheress.
What?
I'll play her for you. You'll recognize her song because she was on TikTok.
Hum it.
I can't.
Hum it.
I can't.
Hum it.
Dory brain. I literally, you put me on the spot. I can't do well under pressure. But it was such a fun time. And then we got coffee at Percent Arabica.
Yes. Is that only in New York?
It's only in New York. Well,
only in Dumbo.
It's only in Dumbo. That's the only one in the US. Like, but it started in Japan. Yeah. How did you know all that?
I'm just so visual. I remember the story. Even though this was months ago, I remember when with your team, I remember an Insta story.
Right. Yeah. And then like I had a couple magical moments like walking through the city. Like literally I would just like look around and I was like, this is so beautiful. And I think the most like attractive thing about New York at that time was like people aren't afraid to like invite people out. Like I think here in LA there's a sense of, oh, I don't want to mess up the dynamic by inviting people, but because New York is like such a small city, I feel like you kind of hit up everyone, see what everyone's up to, you get invited to a bunch of things. Like literally the fact that like I don't live here and yet like I have 5 to 6 groups of people to choose from and then also invite to the other people's things was like so fun. Like
I'm so proud of you.
Oh, thank you.
Because when we first started this podcast, and old Hannah would have been so afraid,
so freaked out.
Would never. Yeah, no, for sure. And so, yeah, I mean, it was just like such a great, friendly time, and I think the experience that kind of spoke to all of this was like I met a couple people through a mutual friend and I was like, oh, okay, let's go to this club. We couldn't get into the club, which is fine. And I was like, okay, we're in K-Town. Let's walk from this place to Mission. So as we're walking, I like ran into a couple people that I knew and I was like, oh my gosh, hi, like what's up? Like talking that you knew from California.
No, they were actually from Korea. So random. And then literally 2 minutes later, I run into another person who lived out here in California. And the 2 people that I had met that night, they're like, are you sure you don't live here? Like literally I'm walking through the streets of New York. What are the odds that I'm running into people, multiple groups of people? And I was like, damn, maybe I need to move here eventually at one time in my life.
Honestly though, but when you said that, and I just was thinking about it as you were saying it though, was you already know how I feel about how small the community in LA is. That just makes me think like, okay, I do want to live in New York City, but I'm sure once I live there for say a year, it'll probably feel even smaller than it is here in LA.
Oh, 100%.
Do I want that for myself?
It's like, I feel like it's like a yes and no. Like sometimes I love that I know people and then sometimes I'm like, damn, I don't want to be around the same people.
Like maybe the expiration date for a place like New York City is a year.
Yeah, I think maybe a little bit more than that. Yeah, maybe 2. I was thinking
I might move to San Francisco.
What?
By 2024.
What happened? Because, dude, you know the reason why I'm so scared of San Francisco is because of you.
Oh, because of the poop?
Like human poop on the sidewalk?
Yeah, tenderloin, tender knob.
That's not right. Tender knob?
Oh yeah, so in between Nob Hill and Tenderloin is now a new section called Tender Knob.
That is such a dumb name.
What, between Nob Hill and Tenderloin?
That is so dumb. That is so dumb. Wait, you might move to SF?
A very fresh thought happened last week. A fresh thought that 2024 by I think we said October of 2024.
Who's we?
Oh, Julia.
I knew it.
Because she has so many. There are offices from where she works,
right?
And this is all hypothetical, but you know, both our type A asses just like she has an office there.
It started planning.
My company were to open there's not even like nobody's talking about it, but if we were to open another office, it would be San Francisco. So why not take up on the opportunity?
This bitch, no, literally Julia, she said the same shit to me. She was
she was considering Seattle and Oregon, but I'm not really for Seattle and Oregon, so.
Right, and I was like, okay, I literally hit her up. I was like, when do you want to move? Like, when were you thinking? And like, she literally was like, Seattle, Oregon. I was like, I'm with it.
Yeah.
It's just our timelines didn't add up. And so.
Well, also, this might all not happen.
Depending on who
gets in a relationship.
Oh my.
End it there.
Okay, great.
But anyways, yeah. I digress. So you ran into a friend from Korea. You ran into a friend that you met here from California.
And so New York was just like so fun, so magical. But I will say I had quite the experience at Mission. So, right, everyone talks about Mission. They're like, Mission's the best. Let's go to Mission. And literally by the 3rd time I was there, I was like, I'm gonna
wait. The 10 days you were there, you went to Mission 3 times.
That's what I'm saying. I was like, guys, I can't go to Mission one more night. I literally cannot. The fact that we have gone here so like almost half the time that we were here, I was like, think about how much there is in the city. What are we missing? We're missing out on everything.
Because like I don't remember Mission being that fun.
It's not that fun. It's just the best out of the options.
Okay.
In K-Town specifically.
Okay.
So like I'm like, guys, let's get out of K-Town.
Yeah.
It's one street. What are we doing?
Yeah.
But I will say this night was very interesting because, right, I was with Andrew and like one of his friends where like, you know, they're playing EDM. I'm paying attention to the DJ. I'm just facing the DJ. And then like, you know, I don't want to like intrude on like him and his friend too much. And so I was just like kind of like dancing by myself, whatever, feeling myself.
Yeah.
And then like kind of like 6 or 7 feet in front of me, there's this guy with like a group of friends. He looks at me. This is the craziest way that I've ever been approached in my life. He looks at me, right? We make eye contact.
I'm scared.
And he points at me, right? He goes like this. Okay, you're gonna be me.
Okay,
ready?
Okay, wait, I'm looking at the DJ dancing.
Yeah. Okay, I'm dude.
Okay, 1, 2, 3.
Eye contact. He points at me.
Okay,
And then
did he point like that?
No,
was it like a
I think it was like that. I think he was like that, right? And then I went like this. I went like this, like me, right? Because like we're doing sign language. Like the club is so loud, yeah. And so he's pointing. He's pointing, and then you go me, and then he goes like this. He starts reeling me in, and I literally was shook, taken aback. I was so like, what? Have you ever had anyone reel you in? Like, he's expecting me to fucking walk over to him.
How did you like? So did you? You should have walked over like. You know? Oh my god, stop.
Okay, but I thought it was, and so I was like, I literally went, So did you go? And so I pointed at him and I said, you could come here. I said, you can come here.
Why didn't you do?
Because that was gross, dude. I literally was like,
was he cute?
Yeah, he was actually like kind of cute. And so my thing is,
who taught him then?
No. Who did this work on before is my question.
Oh, that's concerning.
Yeah, it's very concerning. And like I just felt like I was like, I'm not gonna walk over to you. You didn't do anything. You could come here.
Yeah.
You know? And so after that was the crazy, like, what is the craziest way that you've been like approached at a club? Mine was this.
I'm trying to think about, did I even club when I was single? Do I even have single club stories?
Oh shit. We went out like twice, maybe. We went to Arena that one night.
Because the majority of my singlehood was like thick of COVID. Like truly thick of COVID.
No, it was. We went out in New York.
I remember the place where we sat down with your cousin and drank. Anyways, I mean, now maybe there'll be a series. Maybe by the end of this season, we'll have a series of crazy club night.
Approach methods. Hit on stories.
Yeah.
What's the craziest way you've been hit on at a club?
Are you asking me? Or like that's the question that we'll be answering?
That's the question we'll be answering.
Down.
Okay.
I'm down.
Awesome.
All right, so yours so far is I can't believe you kept that this entire time to tell me on the podcast.
I did. I really did.
That's great.
It was great.
That's great.
It was so fucking funny. Like literally could not stop laughing.
Like he was with friends. Like the friends were fully aware that he was doing this.
Yeah, he was with friends.
He was surrounded by guys.
Yeah, it was all guys.
Oh no.
I was like, I cannot, like I'm genuinely so curious. Who did this work on? We're posting this on TikTok. Who did this work on? Yeah. Girls, we need to raise the standard.
Yeah.
Because if you walk towards that, what are you doing for women as a society? Where the bar is in hell. No need to fish in hell. Plenty of fish. I should have done that. That was really funny. But then also,
I think you should have scared him off. Like,
you look like you're having an exorcism.
Like when you actually catch a fish, they ain't coming up like this. They're coming up like. You know what I mean? Yeah. When you catch them, they're like.
Julie, I think like we have our next like dance move set. Like next time we go out, I'm gonna do this.
Corners now. Oh my god, the bodyguard is gonna escort us out. They're gonna be like, y'all are unwell. Oh my gosh,
so funny. Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna make mine sweet and short, our friend Julia and I, we went to Avila a couple weeks ago at this point. But I wanted to talk about it. Actually, I'm going to talk about it because we're in this era of not gatekeeping.
Okay.
And a lot of people don't know Avila because it's so tiny.
Oh,
Literally,
really?
It's so tiny.
Where is it?
It's 10 minutes above Pismo Beach.
Oh, cute.
10-minute west of Slow. Oh. And then Slow is like 10 minutes from Santa Margarita. And then this entire area is just a bit north of Los Olivos and Solvang. So if you're like from the SoCal area, it's wine country there.
Oh.
So you have like the Temecula area that's also like wine-ish, but like that area, if you didn't want to go all the way to Napa, is also very wine.
Oh, that's nice.
Vineyard area.
Yeah.
It's like a solid drive.
Like 3 hours.
Yeah. So we like stopped at Santa Barbara, which is like halfway, and then went to Avila.
Okay.
But it was nice because I think out of the girls, I think I probably drink, like I don't drink. I think like Priscilla and Shanae could drink more wine than me, but I think I drink wine more casually.
You do.
I drink it more often.
More often, for sure.
Not as much as them, but I drink it more often. And then Julia's just...
She's a wine connoisseur.
Yeah, for Priscilla's birthday, we had like a wine guessing game. Of course, nobody doubted. Nobody ever doubted for a second she would win, and she got first place.
Yeah, it was like, I know that this is a cab. I know the price ranges.
Yeah.
Like, it was like
she got
very
all
impressive.
the red wines right.
Yeah.
And so it was a very good educational session for me because we went and she was like, definitely the cab Sauvignon.
Sauvignon Blanc?
Sauvignon. What is... I was saying Cabernet and Sauvignon to combine Sauvignon. Sauvignon. The Cab Sauv. That's what it was. It is so round. It's like... Oh, it was so tasty. It was so like circular and rounded, as opposed to like other wines that could be sharp and they leave like an acidic taste like to the note. Oh, it was what you mean. It was so great.
Oh, nice.
We stuffed ourselves. Oh, but the highlight of the trip, if you guys are ever in that area, I swear, if you guys are ever in that area and you don't go to this place, I'm gonna be so upset. And we've identified if we ever drove to San Francisco, we will literally make a pit stop for this location. Is High Street Deli. Have you heard?
Is it sandwiches?
It's in Slow. It's a sandwich.
Oh, I'm down.
They have Dutch Crunch bread, and it's
Dutch Crunch.
Yeah, Dutch Crunch. I think that's what it's called.
Oh, I've never heard of that.
It's like, I think it's not infamous, but it's pretty well known in the NorCal area. What? They don't have too many delis here that have Dutch Crunch bread, but the type of bread is like fantastic. So good. We got like matching t-shirts from High Street Deli.
Oh, I saw that.
All their references are like 420. Like, it's like, I don't know if the actual address is 420 High Street.
Oh, that's funny.
But I think it might be. It might be. And all their stickers were like past that.
Right.
On their like sweats, there was like a bong.
Nice.
Like I think it's Doobie Style.
Oh,
and
Doobie
both of us,
Style.
we didn't know what it was, so we looked it up. I literally looked up Doobie Style Urban Dictionary.
Oh.
So a lot of things like refer to Doobie Style, stuff like that. So it has to do with, it's just a chill, cool place.
Swede.
Yeah.
Wait, that's so cool. I've never heard of Avila.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's
in my
Avila,
life.
not Avila.
Yeah, I will say that like one of the only things that I can't participate in is like wine tours. Yeah. So it makes me a little bit sad, but also I'm very happy that you guys were able to do that.
Yeah.
Aww.
Yeah.
Also, you guys are starting to look like you and Julia.
I do. We look alike. Just because we're tan.
I don't know. In your TikToks, I was literally like,
stop. Let me say this shit again. No, evil twin.
No, like genuinely, you guys are each other's evil twins. Like both of you guys, little evil. Like so sweet, so evil.
Oh,
yeah.
I can't do it with the other side.
You know who you're reminding me of? You're reminding me of Anthony Bunta, where he does the he does the.
Oh, what are you doing? wait, what are you doing? Do I look like that?
Yeah.
I don't want to look like that.
That's literally what you look like. That's cute. Okay, but yeah, this week we have a very, very, very special sweet guest on. Her name is Esther Sae.
Yes.
We actually just like met her through TikTok and Instagram. Like it's kind of crazy, right? How
power of social media.
Yeah, genuinely. And you guys may know her for starting Asian Founded. That is a social media agency that supports Asian owned businesses. And like genuinely the amount of like small businesses that I'm able to like discover and support from there has been crazy.
Even in our last episode, when I talked about my non-existent nose bridge, did you know about that sunglass brand previously, or did you?
No, I knew about it because of Esther and Asian Founded.
What was it called again?
Covry.
Yeah.
So we'll link it in the description and everything.
Yes.
But yeah,
welcome, Esther.
welcome, Esther. 5, 6, 7, 8. Welcome.
I'm just trying to give her a warm embrace. Give me an E. S. I said give me an E. Why are you giving me an S? I literally said give me an E. E. S. T. H. R. E. I said R. You didn't pay attention. I literally said give me an E, S, T, H, and then I said R.
Oh.
R. What does that spell? Esther! As you see, yes, if you're watching us via YouTube, you see her, and if not, then
you hear her.
Yeah, pull up the Instagram. But yeah, we are so grateful, so excited to have you here to talk about your business, right?
Yeah,
that is your full-time job, which we'll get into soon too.
Yes.
But before we really dive into it, tell us about yourself. Who are you?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, shoot. We're getting right into it. Okay. I love it. My name is Esther. For those of you who don't know of Asian Founded, I started Asian Founded last summer, I believe.
Yeah.
And it's actually a social media agency. So a lot of people don't know the agency part to it. And the reason you might have heard of it could be because you saw videos we make on TikTok and Instagram and on social media where we highlight Asian founded brands. And it's been a year of highlighting over 100 Asian founded brands. So this is our 1 year anniversary.
Wow. A year of this.
That is so crazy.
That is crazy.
Yeah, so if you see, maybe you'll pull up our social media channels, you might see like on Instagram, the world's first human dog bed is Asian founded. Like these bizarre things. Like the most recent video that went viral for some reason is this product called Cup-a-Bug. And what it does is it catches bugs for you.
Wait, I think I've seen it.
Yeah.
Wait, sorry, continue.
Yes, very intriguing. So it catches bugs for you without you having to like touch it, basically. So it cups the bug, quite literally. And then like for people who don't like bugs like myself, you'll just press a button or whatever, it'll cup the bug for you.
And then it closes,
close,
right? What?
And then people just love that, and that's invented by this guy named Patrick Hwang, I believe. And then that just, I don't know, people loved it. 33 million
Patrick
views later.
Is he Korean?
I don't think so. It's Hwang, like H-U.
Oh, got it. Because I was
Yeah.
if he's Korean, maybe it's because there's so many cicadas in Korea that he wanted to catch it, and that's why they thought about it.
Oh,
Like,
I see.
I mean, they have a lot of bugs.
Yeah.
So
They're very loud.
Yeah, I needed that earlier today because I was driving, and you know how they say that like spiders live in your mirrors?
Yeah,
Dude, it crawled into my car. It was really dangerous. I was not driving like a proper human because I was trying to like shoo it away like out the window. Yeah, it was not a great
That's
situation.
pretty distracting.
Yeah.
Was it like a big
Yeah, was
spider?
it juicy?
Oh, it was juicy.
Ew.
It had white stripes on it. I was like, that feels dangerous. Yeah.
I hope it wasn't poisonous. White stripe sounds pretty.
Yeah, it probably was.
It was gross.
Yeah.
I needed a cup of bug.
You need a cup of bug.
Yeah.
A cup of bug.
Cup of bug. Yeah, all
Yeah.
like
Okay.
hyphenated.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's catchy. Cup of bug.
Yeah, a cup of bug.
Yeah.
You should get a cup of bug.
Cup of bug. Yeah.
Yeah. And actually, TikTok is how I discovered like Asian Founded.
Oh, no way.
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
like, I feel like, you know, during quarantine, I was like, ooh, like, let's toggle back and forth between like buying things in TikTok and buying things in TikTok.
So
and, like,
basically Instagram and TikTok.
yeah. And so you guys were one of the main offenders in my spending habits.
it's always like twofold, but I'm like always like, oh, I know spending, I'm pushing spending, but yeah, I love it.
I'm like, okay, so if I'm gonna spend, I'm gonna like support small Asian owned businesses.
Yes, no, I really appreciate that. I actually took, just because of pure bandwidth, took like almost 2-month hiatus with posting consistently on TikTok. And then I recently posted something and someone commented, this is the first time in a while you've shown on my For You page and my wallet is scared. And I was like, oh, I like really like hearing that. Like really like hearing that people go out and buy these products that I talk about and these brands that I talk about. So I'm back now.
She's back. I think it's important to like definitely like take those breaks. Yeah, because I'm sure you spend, I mean, your social media like that is your entire day.
I won't pay rent if I deactivate for a month. But yeah, I think there are conscious ways I try to go about not looking at that teeny tiny screen. And one of it is like controlling, you know, like you get weekly reports of like how many hours. So I actually went down after starting Asian Founded, as opposed to when I was working my producer reporting job, which I'm like, okay, this means I'm very intentionally trying to not be on my phone. I try to schedule things ahead of time. And even when I'm with people, so I'm notoriously known as a very bad texter. But that's because when I'm with people or when I'm out in events, my phone is down. Like I don't see my phone. I'm not texting. I post all my Insta stories. Like if I was at a bachelorette, I wouldn't post things when it's happening. I post it at night when we're like about to sleep and stuff. So there's like these things that I do to stay away from it, but I don't think I could deactivate it for a month. Purely for like bread and butter issues, but that's refreshing.
No, I definitely like, I feel like I spend a lot of time and I'm like, oh, this is affecting my mental health. So I may need to join you on the train, but it's hard because like in order to like promote our podcast, even like reaching out to people, like it's through the DMs, you know? So a lot of like business like definitely happens like through social media. So yeah, it's kind of tough. But you were saying that, you know, at your previous gig, you were like a producer and a reporter, correct?
So I went from producing midterm primaries and the presidential election to creating TikToks for Asian founded brands. So it was like a 180. But I was in the news industry, for about 7 years.
Wow.
And I did that. I started as a reporter. I was a Korean reporter for Korean TV. So basically I was reporting
that was my like first dream. Do you remember? Like when I was in elementary school, I wanted to be an anchor woman, but
it's not too late.
But I told myself like, but you can't be an anchor woman for like U.S. news channels because there's too many. But back in the day, Korea like had like, I would say like 3 main channels, right? So everybody always watches. So I was like, but if I'm gonna be an anchor woman, like I need to do it for Korea. So that was my very first dream that I remember having as a kid. That's so cool. I mean, if you want to dig that up, but I feel like you're in a much better position now. But Korean news and working in Korean news, it's very interesting. I have a lot of stories, a lot of nitpicking of the body and the physical appearance and all that bad stuff, but also the good stuff where I got to connect with like just a community, talk about stuff that you probably won't talk about anywhere else. I did that for a little bit and then I went behind the camera and produced instead, which I loved so much better because we're talking a little bit before recording, but our personalities are any alike and we're very risk averse. I found myself feeding into that as a reporter. Like if I had a stick up my butt before, the stick just kept getting longer and longer. You know what I mean? Like you just become a square more and more. And I didn't like that about being in the reporting industry. And I was like, oh my gosh, I always have to be right, presentable. Let me go behind the camera. And then I was like, this is so fun. You're in a room with like 3-4 people and you're leading a show. So I did that for the rest of my career in news.
Wow. Okay. And then when during that career, that 7-year span, did like the idea of Asian Founded come up? Where did it kind of like come from?
Good question. So when I was still producing, at night I would put up these TikToks just on my personal channel. To this day, I started a personal account. I was so scared of my data and privacy because I had no idea what TikTok was. This is so stupid. But I like put no backup information. Like I made a whole, this is very embarrassing. I made a whole new email to create this TikTok account, whatever, whatnot. I'm still locked out of it because I don't have a number or anything to figure out my password. So that's my personal thing. And then I created another account just putting up other TikToks, non-news related. So that started doing well. I got brands reaching out, got my first TikTok deal. And I was shocked because I didn't know about the money in the industry. And that first deal was equivalent to how much I would make in like a couple days at my news job. And then I was matching what I would make in a month. And I was like, wow, this is crazy. Like I spent 40 hours at work.
Right.
More because news, they work you.
Oh, damn.
But I spent 3-4 hours making TikToks, and that matched my monthly salary. What is going on? And so I was like, I feel like there's something here. I feel like there's something where I can marry my experience with Korean reporting, like pitching, basically API-centered stories with TikTok, where literally you can see brands telling you, I got this many visits to my website because of your video. And I love that as opposed to TV. You never know the impact unless you follow up and be like, hey, like, did you get more visitors? So I was like, okay, I'm going to do this. I told my husband, he was like, do it, whatever, you know, very chill. He took me to Costco, bought me a laptop, and I was like, okay, I'm going to do this. Quit my job, and it's been a year.
My God. Did you get chills? Dude, I got chills.
It sounds so like simple, but it was very like,
oh, I bet.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I bet. I mean, because so I was telling you before too how I am extremely, I don't know about extremely, but definitely risk adverse, because I feel like everything that I choose to do personally and professionally, it's like very calculated.
Yes.
And like, right, like, okay, I'm gonna like go into this position to eventually become this in a year, and then here's the 5-year plan. Honestly, ask me about a 20-year plan. You know what I mean? Like I'm like that.
50 years, why not?
She got it ready.
And so it's just crazy that like a stable, I wouldn't necessarily say 9 to 5, it was probably more like
9 to 9.
Yeah, like how, like what, was it like really just your husband like, let's go to Costco, buy you a laptop, or what was kind of that emotional process and other outlets that maybe like motivated you to like fulfill Asian Founded?
That's a good question. I feel like if the pandemic didn't happen, Asian Founded wouldn't have happened. Because something about the pandemic, like I'm so tired of talking about the pandemic, but I'm sorry, I'm gonna bring it up. It makes you realize life is very short.
Yeah.
And I noticed this about relationships too. Like my friends who got into relationships during the pandemic, like they're married already, you know, or like there's depth to it.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
There's something there.
Okay. Are we gonna skim over this, or are we gonna dig into this?
I think I would have probably said it in the check-in, right? If this is like,
maybe.
Oh yes, because I was in a relationship that started during the pandemic. In 2020, and it ended last week.
Yeah. Oh, so fresh.
Fresh. It's pretty fresh, but it's pretty fresh, but it messed up my 5-year plan, right?
Yeah.
So now I need to cope with how I'm gonna get over it and like think of my new 5-year plan. So I'm talking about it a lot.
Yeah.
And I think I feel, compare somebody who is a week and a half out of a relationship, I feel like I'm doing pretty good for somebody a week and a half out of a relationship.
Yeah.
So
I was wondering what all the laughter was about.
Kudos to you. You were gonna say like, you know, like you were like, life is short. So I thought you were gonna allude to like, so the relationships that started in the pandemic are short. I thought that's what you were gonna say, but then you hit us with the, they're married now, and I was like,
completely different direction. Oh my gosh, that's so funny. That's why you were kind of like looking at me, laughing.
I was like anticipating what you were gonna say, and then it was the complete opposite.
And then you laughed more because it was okay. Yeah, I mean,
we cope with laughter, you know.
I really wanted to stay here, but okay, it was, I think, pandemic.
Okay, but for those they got married.
Yes.
Yeah,
There's some depth to it. Like people kind of have more time to just see what they want, and you just spend more time with that person. So maybe it's that you know that you're meant to be together, or you don't much quicker. It could be that way. But because of the pandemic, I was like, man, much like you, I had a goal in my head. It was to go to CNN. I got recruited by them, got offered a job. It's like, okay, I achieved my goal. And then I already know where my life is going to go. I'm going to become a executive producer. I'm going to become a director, and then that's it. And then I was like, I already know where it's going to go. I want to do something different. And the pandemic kind of fueled that. Like,
for sure,
you can do it. Life is short. Yeah.
Wow.
So nothing happened at work or anything. It was just like,
no, it was just pure, to put it frank, boredom a little bit. Like I get bored easily. Sounds like a toddler speaking, but it's just like I'm very project based. So I need to finish a product, done, I'm good. And I was like, oh, I know where I'm going to be in 10 years. I'm bored. Slash, wow, what a great opportunity to highlight Asian owned brands slash actually make this a full-time job. So I left, put in my month's notice, and then
so
left.
Generous.
I know. I'm such a good employee, you know. Risk averse.
Because you don't want to burn any bridges.
I'm leaving on a good note. Yeah.
Do you mind sharing some of like the thought processes that you went through while you're going through that roller coaster ride? Like, what were you thinking about, like, as a risk averse person, like, why? Or like, what kind of thoughts were you having that made you feel like you could do this?
That's a good question. I think it did help that I had some financial backing, in that I had receipts to prove, okay, this is how many videos I need to make in order to make rent, right? You gotta live, you gotta survive. So I had a little bit of that. I just got married then. And I don't know, it's something about, like, I think I knew I could fall on to my husband, not to be like, you know, but there was that like emotional support there. So as much as I'm scared to take risks, at that moment everything was fully aligned where I could be the riskiest that I've ever been. And I quit my job, and but I think those circumstances had to come together. It's not easy to...
No, I get that. Like, sometimes when I think about like how I ended up at my Series C like tech startup too, I think if I didn't have, like, if I was working in a different state, right? Or I was paying rent, because I was living at home. My parents they live in the South Bay. Right? It's like, if I'm going to take a risk to like switch jobs, switch career paths, I feel like it would be now as opposed to later, if I were to be living in a different state, if I were to be miles away from friends and family and stuff like that, you know? So I totally get when you say like, this is the riskiest, you know, like, not the moon's aligning, no astrology, but the situation that you're in. If you're to do it, like, now's the time.
Yeah, for sure.
I feel like there's almost like a tipping point where it's like, this is almost like everything is too aligned. Like, it doesn't make sense not to do it at a certain point. Like almost like with this podcast too, like, I always tell people, I think it's very special because I feel like all of my past experiences and things that like didn't really seem connected, like I finally see like a through line in it, because like in the podcast I'm like using everything that I learned, like, truly. And so I think there's like something like magical about that, as like corny as that is. Like, I think there's something that had to have like happened bigger in the bigger picture, if it's like God or the universe that you believe in, that like makes things happen. So
this room just got brighter. And there's floating specks in the air. I love it. And we're slowly levitating. No, I love it. That's so true.
What did you say?
Levitating.
Oh, levitating. Oh, Dua Lipa. Oh, okay, got you.
Can add the music here.
I don't remember the song. It's if you want to run away, get up on a galaxy, something for a ride. Okay.
Wow, you know the lyrics.
I don't know any of the words.
BS. People are like, that is so not the lyrics.
Really?
Yeah, but it sounded legit, huh?
Yeah, it did. I literally could not tell you.
You must be good at freestyling.
Oh, she is.
No,
She can rap.
No,
all of Fergalicious.
You can do, and you go first.
Nothing.
Okay.
Tears coming out.
This is always us just crying.
Okay.
I guess like, you know, in partially overcoming or like at least taking like a very big step in like challenging your risk adverseness. What are like other maybe like lessons that you've learned about yourself, like through the process of starting your own business?
Yes.
And even like learning to like work with a team and all of that.
Yes. First off, risk averse is going to be like the trigger word of this episode, but it's okay. We love it. And then the second one is, I think I underestimated myself. I have a very unhealthy relationship with money in that because I grew up with not so much of it, I always don't know what the balance is with either being too frugal or going crazy and overspending. So I think when I started charging my rates, I started having services, I started having clients, now I have a team, I undercharged myself so much, to the point where the first week I was getting so many clients and I realized it's because this is, I'm so cheap basically on the market. And I think that's one thing I learned. I was like, my husband always says, charge what you would feel comfortable and where you won't have a grudge with when you're doing the work. So like, don't be like, just charge this much and then later when you're doing the work be like, oh, like this isn't worth it. But like charge what you think you're worth and charge where you won't be bitter about it. Charge what you're worth basically. And I definitely undercharged myself in the beginning, so that's a life lesson. I guess I'm still learning now. And it's being amplified or made bigger, I should say, through Asian Founded. I'm realizing, oh, I have to get this now because I have people depending on it now.
Yeah, that makes sense. Do you feel this is new? Like, do you think that like you undercharged, I guess, in general in your life? Like, do you think that you were maybe not valuing yourself?
Yeah, like devaluing yourself.
Yeah, it could be. It could be. I see little aspects of my life where even now, me and my mom, I get PR now and I'm able to give my mom some of the stuff, and obviously I want to do more, but it's cool because she gets to get these stuff that she maybe couldn't afford like when we were young. But the thing we'll say when we get it is always like, oh, this was on sale. Like that's like the first thing we'll say when someone mentions like, oh, this is new, like where'd you get it? Oh, it was on sale. Oh, Nordstrom, you know. Like that's like the trajectory. So I think in little moments like that I see it. And maybe even at work where I noticed when I got an intern at work, and she was I'll just say not Asian. I don't know if that's like a way to say it, but she would tell me, hey, I need to get Wednesday off. And I was like, oh yeah, that's cool. But then I realized when I tell my boss, I have to say, oh, may I get Wednesday off because ABC.
Wait, that's literally me all the time.
Yeah, but my intern was straight up like, I'm getting Wednesday off. And to me, I was like, okay.
Whoa. Like, okay, so someone rear-ended me. And yes, it's because it was my first time and I was really, really scared. But I wasn't sure, but it was still like before work hours because I was coming back from a doctor's appointment. And I wasn't sure if I should ask my boss, hey, this happened. Can I work from home? Or if it should have been, hey, this happened. I'm going to be working from home. You know? Yeah. So sometimes I don't want to I don't want to ask because I want to make sure that like I am defining my role and that it's like, although I report to him, like he's my boss.
Like he's not in charge of your life.
Yeah. I don't know what it is, but I find myself just even thinking about what I should be typing for 10 minutes before I type whatever I just had to type out.
Yes.
Yeah.
And sending that email and all that. It's a whole thing.
Yeah.
So in moments like that.
Interesting. Do you think maybe like in our Asianness, like we've just kind of like learned that like I feel like it could almost be like a respect your elders thing, right? Where I never want to overstep. So I would rather ask for permission than like, you know, the saying like, oh, ask for forgiveness rather than permission. Like I've never lived by that my entire life. When it comes to like work environments or like environments where like there are like more like authority figures, if that makes sense. So I don't know. I think for me, like it could definitely come from that where I'm just like, I'm scared.
I mean, I'm looking for another apartment now. And it's strange because I've been looking at so many places And then about 2 people said to me, oh, like, what's your race or ethnicity? And I was like, oh, Korean. They're like, perfect. You guys are so hardworking. And it almost was like, I will put your app through right away and you will get this apartment. And I mean, that's an example of privilege too, right?
Yeah.
Like we have that too, like just being East Asian, Korean, whatever. But I was just like,
someone asked me what my ethnicity was and I said Korean and they're like, perfect.
I was like, what? Like, you know, and it's like those subtle things, it's like everywhere, like whether it's positive or not, I'm just like, yeah, that was my first time hearing that from a potential landlord. I was like, okay,
That's really funny.
Yeah.
I guess we're quiet.
Yeah.
And we clean a lot. I'm sure.
I mean, I do clean a lot, but I mean, please look at my credit score first. Like, gosh, yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
That's
wow.
funny.
Yeah.
But going back to actually like Asian founded, what's kind of the goal, like moving forward? Like,
Yeah.
it's been a year. I mean, you guys were thriving for the year, right? 100 plus product reviews, or not even reviews, but just right,
Like features,
social media agency, everyone. So yeah, what's kind of the goal?
Yeah. So right now I'm building the team. So the goal, and I'm still trying to figure out if there's any other agency like this, but we have all just Asian owned businesses as our clients. And we do function as an agency. So whether it is content creation, like ads, marketing, we do that right now. And what I'm building with my team is a website. Until now, it's just been me kind of working with these clients. Finally, we're able to kind of bring more clients in. So that's one side.
Wow.
And then the other side is I want to grow our social media presence, purely because I learned so much about like brands that are Asian founded, like Girlfriend Collective. I don't know if you guys know, but it's like activewear. I didn't know they were Asian founded until I did a little bit of research. I'm just finding out so many Asian owned brands like Covry Eyewear. Like I never wore sunglasses until I realized brands make sunglasses for low nose bridges. And I was like, oh my gosh, hold up. I tried it. I love it. And I have a couple pairs now. So it's not just bringing this to light just for the heck of being Asian founded, but also to the mainstream. I'm hoping they'll realize, oh, this is a good product and it's Asian owned. Let me support it. So that's kind of like the first goal. And then our second one, which we're kind of planning in the works now, is to do something in person, which will hopefully come next year.
Oh,
Yeah.
exciting.
Yeah.
But I will say, you know, something I picked up on in another podcast that you had guested on.
Yes.
You shared something. Okay, let me see if I can, you know, regurgitate what you said. But it's not so much about like marketing every single Asian founded, you know, brand, but it's about like bringing the awareness that there are products that are really good in a sea of products that may have had like more resources to boom.
Yes.
Right? Because I think I was having a hard time with that too. It's
Yeah.
just like, oh, just because it is, you know, API month, or just because like, of course I want to support like, you know, the global majority, but you know, I didn't want to just like buy products.
Yes.
Right. But I love that you said that, because then there's just like credibility to like the things that you're posting on your TikTok and on your Instagram,
Yeah.
that these are actually like good products.
Yeah.
Did
Yeah.
you always want to do like news?
Yes.
Oh wow.
Again, 5-year plan. I was like, I am going to major in Korean and English because I want to stay in LA. Usually when you become a reporter, you have to go to the middle of nowhere and then build your repertoire. Then move to number 1 or 2 market, which is LA or New York. And then you can go on TV. Because you've made all your mistakes in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
But for me, I wanted to stay in LA, so very calculative.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm gonna go the Korean reporting route, stay in the number 2 market. I did that, and then I transferred to an American news station. So I was very calculated that. I was like, I'm gonna go to CNN. I got the CNN job, and then quit.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
It's
It's
like boom, 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 boom.
it's calculative. But thank you
You know
for
what's
saying
crazy?
that.
Like, I mean, you said it too, but like you majored in it, and then your goal is to stay in LA, right? So you mark that off, and you get, you know, hired by a Korean news outlet. And but like, wasn't that excitement so short lived?
A little bit, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Like, I feel like your goal is always running towards something, and once you're there, it's just always like next goal. And so that's a flaw of, I guess, both of ours. I feel like I can speak for both of us. You know?
Yes.
Because here's a flaw of yours. Well, because we said we already identified that we were similar.
Yes.
So, like, and it's just like so upsetting when retrospectively, like thinking about, oh my god, like I worked so hard to get there.
Yes.
Like, so this similar, like, I think me, like, wanting to attend, like, USC, right? I mean, I actually told my group of friends first before I told my parents, and I didn't even tell my parents I applied, right? Because I was, like, fearful of not getting in. But there was a period when I forgot how happy getting that acceptance letter was. And then it's like, oh my gosh, why am I not happy? Because that was all I looked forward to for, like, for as long as I can remember. So I'm sure for you too, Sienna, and that was like, I'm gonna get there, and then you got there, and then I was like, I want to do this.
Yeah, no, that's true. I mean, now that I think about it, you forget the moments so quickly, and not to bring faith into this, but I faith is part of my life, so I feel like that's where I try to kind of focus on, because you're right. Like, I remember when I got into UCLA, and it faded like that. I mean, I loved it best 4 years of my life, but like you get in and then you move on. You get the reporter job, you move on. So you're very right.
Very earthly, like temporary happiness.
Yeah. So many moments in this episode.
This is like a reminder for all of us, everyone.
I know. Slow down.
Hopefully nature sounded like you can, do it more slowly. It seems like you have great goals, but
Yeah, I think it's about pace and realizing no one's one producer who I respect. She said, if this show doesn't make TV, no one's gonna die. I was like, that's true. Not much you do in life, someone's gonna die. Nothing's gonna happen unless you're a surgeon. Then you get your act together. But like most of us, it'll be fine.
Wow, I like that.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
It's almost like don't take it too seriously.
Yeah.
I feel like that's one of her, like,
that's
your mantra
I lived by. Because I think I used to take myself very seriously. Like too seriously. I just like was not chill at all.
No way. You seem like such a chill person.
I think we used to be more similar, actually. Like I was very like, and then you know what happened? And you know what happened? You know what happened? The ultimate goal was fulfilled. It was just get into college. And then there was nothing after that. So I've just been like winging it since then.
I love it.
I love that. Just winging life. Just wing through life.
I really am.
I love that.
Isn't it freeing though a little bit?
It is. Yeah. It's been really like nice. You know? No, but now I think I'm like too off the other side. I'm like trying to like apply a little bit more pressure.
Yeah, it's getting too comfortable.
Yeah. I need like a middle ground.
That's why you have me, you know?
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, you have to like surround yourself with people who are different than you. Yeah.
And then you'll just kind of bounce back.
Yeah. Oh, well, cool. Yeah. Thank you so much for sharing.
Yes, thanks for having me. I'm excited and very honored to be here.
Yeah, and then for all the peoples, I know that you don't have a...
The peoples.
Yeah. For all the Kogis.
For all the Kogis. I know you don't have a website yet, but would you like to plug it?
It will be.
Because then you have to like really stick to your word and this is going to keep you accountable. Because they're going to share the website. And if they go onto this website, they're going to be like, oh, it's not working.
Like, why isn't it up? Okay. In the future, it'll be asianfounded.com. Very easy to remember. Wow. And then Asian Founded on basically every social channel. No one took Asian Founded.
That is crazy. I was literally stalking all of the channels. Even Asian, I typed in asianfounded.com and nothing came up. But
because I have it.
Yeah. But I was like, wow, you actually got all your handles.
It's crazy. No one.
I know ours is like Purugi.pa.
I mean, that's still pretty good. That's just one dot.
Okay. And then we do a little something to end the episode.
Yes. Don't we plug in our socials first?
Oh, you're right. You can follow us on TikTok and Instagram. Wait, it's been a little bit. TikTok and Instagram at bulgogi.podcast, on Twitter at bulgogi podcast, me on Instagram and TikTok at HanaCat,
and me on TikTok at BEJULIFIED. Okay, so what we normally do, you choose a note of an ooh, a random ooh, could be any pitched ooh, and we all harmoniously sing the ooh together.
Oh my gosh,
On
that's
a
so
count
cool.
of 3, don't mess up. 1, 2, 3. Ooh.
I started too high.
Oh, is this
No, that was great. No. I was just copying the emoji. No, you did it perfect. You did it.
Yeah, it was great. That was great. Yeah.
Why is it ooh?
You know,
I don't even remember how
I don't remember how this
I don't
started.
Oh, how
remember.
about purr? You don't do purr?
Oh, so
You're the second person to say that. Actually,
well, somebody was like, "Why don't you guys do like bulgogi?" That was actually pretty good.
that was great.
That was nice. Yeah, that was really good.
Wow,
That could be your theme song.
over here.
Instead of the da 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 da, our intro song, just let's insert this.
Okay.
Alrighty, bye you guys.
Bye.